Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, Texas Man here, back. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Ballerina. If you guys want, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit that bell notification button. Select all for all notifications so you guys don't miss out on future content here on the channel. And we're going to be talking positives and negatives. Talking about Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Ballerina. Dun, 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 dun. This film came out here in 2025. It is about 2 hours long. It is rated R. First off, I want to talk about the fact that I love all four of the John Wick movies. This movie, I was like, okay, so they're doing a John Wick movie, but it's not focused on John Wick. He's going to be a cameo character, and we're going to have a woman be an assassin ballerina person, and she's taking over the mantle of this franchise, and I'm just like, oh god. First time I saw this trailer, I'm just like, oh god. Like, one, I thought the John Wick franchise was over with Chapter 4. I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it for some reason. But, like really? We're going to do a spin-off. Like, what is it with companies and being like, oh, this franchise is awesome. Let's do a spin-off movie or a spin-off series. And it's just like, every time companies do that, don't they realize a spin-off means that it loses the heart, essence, and soul of what the original franchise was? Because that's what a spin-off normally is. And this film kind of has that problem. Not in a lot of ways, but there are some. First off, I want to talk about the fact that this film, it's not woke, and it's not feminism crap, unlike most Star Wars and Star Trek today. Like I said, this is just not something I really cared about. Like, why in the world would I want to go see a John Wick movie that doesn't focus on John Wick? But somehow this worked. For the most part, I enjoyed this film. This is not a girl boss film. The Ballerina, they make it real clear that the Ballerina, aka Eve, she is not as strong as the men that she is fighting, okay? She can only win by overpowering them through smarts, okay? The film makes it very clear that and I'm just using these numbers as an example, you can't be a 150-pound woman and think that you are going to be able to go head-to-head with a 240-pound muscular man, and you expect to win the fist fight. If you do win that fist fight, that's called feminism. That's just not reality. If you think that's reality, that a 150-pound woman can defeat a 240-pound man in a 1v1 brawl fight, you're delusional, okay? It doesn't work that way. The only way that woman would be able to win is by using her brains, her smarts, being strategic, using the environment around her. And that is the only way that the Ballerina is able to win most of the fights. There's even a couple of fights in this film that she straight out loses, okay? She loses to John Wick. Okay? Her first assignment, she's getting stabbed at, shot. She gets injured, okay? Now, and it slows her down. It doesn't stop her because she's trained to go through all that pain. But it does humanize her, okay? She's not bulletproof. She's not John Wick. Okay? She is a woman. And she has weaknesses. And the film uses those. And there's no problem having those weaknesses. Overcoming those weaknesses and realizing that you have those and trying to figure out how to counter them and use your strengths to defeat your opponents is what is important. And this movie strives on that. Now, moving on to John Wick, yes, he is in this film. And unfortunately, you might be thinking, what? Unfortunately, he's in this film a lot. He's not just a cameo. He's in this film a lot longer than he should be. He shows up like at the end of Act 1. And then in the third act, he's just there. So if you're like, oh, I can't wait to see Keanu Reeves because of the trailer, yeah, you're going to get your fill. But I want you to understand something real clear. John Wick doesn't add anything to this movie. If John Wick as a character in this film was replaced by another assassin-like character, this film wouldn't be any different. Hell, if you removed this character showing up in the movie and it was just her fighting the entire village that she's in trying to kill this chancellor that killed her dad, then the film still wouldn't be any different. I mean, if it was just her versus the entire village to get to the big bad guy, the movie would have been fine. John Wick being in this film, it's only done for, one, fan service, and two, to help you understand where this lines up in the John Wick franchise timeline. So, the film primarily takes place during John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, and then the third act takes place after John Wick 3 ends. Which is why he's able to be in this movie, because he's not dead yet. So, I just feel as if though John Wick being in this movie, like, it was cool for like 10 seconds, and then just like, he's really not, like, if you just removed his character, the film wouldn't be any different. Let's talk about the action sequences. Action sequences are awesome, and they're different compared to John Wick Chapters 1 through 4. This film, by the way, it loves grenades. It just loves grenades. Smoke grenades, normal frag grenades, and this film also loves flamethrowers. The film, while only 2 hours, felt a lot longer. This movie felt like it was 2.5, almost 3 hours long. This is probably perhaps to the fact that it's trying to be a big lore explanation-like film. Like, it's trying to, like, explain the Round Table. It's trying to explain all these different clans and why they don't go to war with each other and what happens if one of them breaks the rules. So it does a lot of that with action sprinkled throughout. We don't get much depth to Eve / the Ballerina. Like, she's just like, okay, tragic. It's a tragic revenge story, okay? Somebody kills her dad. She gets trained in this, group of assassins. She becomes the best of her class. She graduates. She gets put out into the field. She is doing all these assignments for like a year or so. And, she comes across this group and she realizes that this group is part of the group that killed her dad. So she's trying to hunt down the person in this group that killed her dad because she wants revenge. And she ends up figuring out where they're at, and she has a big shootout, and she eventually is able to kill him. That's the movie. A lot of the revelation moments in this film didn't shock me. The whole, I'm your sister! And it was just like, oh my god, did you not watch Star Wars? Like, the delivery, the revelation of that just alone, of just like, I saw it coming a mile away. I'm like, yeah, they're sisters. And I kept this to myself when I was watching it in the theater. And like, I was looking at my friends and family with me. And I'm just like, I saw it coming. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, it was all in the eyes. Last two things I want to talk about. I was happy that the actress, she basically does all of her stunts. The actress that plays Eve, she did a lot of her own stunts. And that just makes the film more satisfying. I liked that, she took her role serious. She's trying to kind of be like the new Tom Cruise, and I respect her for that. So, overall, the film, it's about loss, it's about guilt, and it's about finding a purpose in life, whether that's to kill people mindlessly or to kill people for the greater good and to protect the innocent. Overall, guys, I'm going to give Ballerina an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know, do you guys agree or disagree down in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.